this is something na I know for sure makakatulong sa maraming nangangarap out there kung paano sila makakarating sa Canada. Because just like you, nangarap lang din kami and now we're here. Hi guys! Welcome to my first ever vlog. Introduce ko muna yung sarili ko. My name is Faye and I am here in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I arrived here with my husband 3 weeks ago. Last September lang. And today, magva-vlog ako because this is something na I know for sure makakatulong sa maraming nangangarap out there kung paano sila makakarating sa Canada. Because just like you, nangarap lang din kami and now we're here. Hindi ko mapapromise na itong pathway na to na isi-share ko ay para sa inyo or applicable sa inyo. But I'm just saying that this is an option na marami sa ating mga kababayan yung na-overlook or hindi nako-consider. Disclaimer lang, wala kaming consultant. We did everything by ourselves. But then, I just have to warn you na kapag nag-DIY kayo, be prepared to do a lot of research and it requires a lot of work talaga. Marami kayong doubts habang pinoproseso nyo, iniisip nyo kung tama ba tong interpretation nyo kasi lahat naman ng information nasa website ng IRCC. But then, minsan mahirap mag-interpret if tama ba yung understanding mo. Things like those. It also helps na mag-hire ng consultant, but then kung katulad namin kayo na medyo nanghihinayang kami and wala talaga kaming budget for a consultant. So, what we did is talagang inaral namin kung ano yung process. Kasi kaya naman. Siyempre, case by case basis yan. If special yung case nyo, then maybe kailangan nyo ng consultant. Kayo yung makakasagot niyan, not me. So, ito is isi-share ko lang kung ano yung alam namin, ano yung ginawa namin. Ang pathway na dinaanan namin is express entry via provincial nomination, which is yung province na kung nasaan kami ay yung province of Saskatchewan. Ang program ng Saskatchewan is Saskatchewan Immigrant Nominee Program, something like that. But we call it SINP. Ito yung pathway na naging applicable sa amin because number 1, we don't have relatives here anywhere in Canada. Number 2, we don't have work experience in Canada. And number 3, we didn't receive education here in Canada. So, hindi kami dito nag-aral. Talagang tubong Pilipinas kami. Never kami nakapag-abroad. So, just another note, marami kasi yung natatakot na magastos. Well, yeah, magastos siya. If gusto mo lang i-lodge yung application mo, you can do it. Walang bayad. It's completely free. However, yung mga prerequisites kasi para makagawa ka ng profile, yun yung may bayad. Like yung IELTS and yung WES. Later, I will discuss it. Let us first understand ano nga ba yung express entry. So, ito yung program ng Canada para sa mga immigrants na makarating dito as permanent residents na agad. So, meron kasing mga pumupunta dito as temporary foreign worker, merong mga student visa, merong visitor visa, but that is the program of Canada talaga for immigrants. And then, bakit merong tinatawag na provincial nomination program? Unahin ko muna yung express entry. So, yung express entry kasi meron siyang cut-off para mabigyan ka ng invitation to apply. Meron siyang cut-off score. So, for people like us na walang relatives, wala kaming Canadian education, wala kaming work experience dito, sobrang baba nung naging points namin nung nag-create kami ng express entry profile. Yung husband ko is around 428. So, yung score na yun, kinalculate siya based on many factors. So, kasama na dun yung education, yung age, score mo sa language test. So, you guys can actually compute your CRS scores. However, yun nga, since mababa yung points namin, kahit anong gawin namin, kahit gano'ng katagal pa kami na nasa sa express entry pool, kasi pag gumawa ka ng profile mo, mapupunta ka na sa express entry pool. However, kahit ilang taon mo siyang ilagay doon, I think na-expire nga siya every year. 1 year lang yata yung validity nun. Anyway, kahit gano'n siya katagal na nandun, walang guarantee kung kailan ka madodraw. Kasi yung cutoff scores, they are too high. So, nung nag-create kami ng express entry, around mga 500 yung points. But then, sobrang layo namin. Kailangan namin maghanap ng ways para madagdagan yung points namin, para umabot kami and mabigyan kami ng invitation to apply. That's where the provincial nomination program will come in. Kasi kapag nabigyan ka ng isang province ng nomination, madadagdagan yung points mo ng 600 points. So, ganun siya kalaki. Diba? So, for us, na sobrang baba ng score, pag nadagdagan kami ng 600, it's as if sure na kami na madodraw. Diba? Kasi actually, umabot ng 1,000 yung sa husband ko eh. Ganun yung concept ng express entry and then ang provincial nomination. So, by the way, express entry, siya yung sa federal stage. Yung provincial nomination program sa provincial stage, siya obviously. Actually, you can create express entry profile kaagad. And then, yun kasi yung ginawa namin. Gumawa muna kami ng express entry profile and then gumawa kami ng expression of interest sa Saskatchewan. Actually, marami kaming pinasahan na province. Manitoba, PEI, Newfoundland, Labrador, lahat ng pwede. Yung ibang province kasi, bago ka makagawa ng EOI or Expression of Interest, ay may ibang qualifications. Like, kailangan may kamag-anak ka, kailangan may work experience ka, kailangan may job offer ka, ganon. So, from time to time, nagbabago yung mga yan. Okay, but at that time, konti lang yung na-applyan namin. So, nag-fall under kami sa Saskatchewan. And luckily, nabigyan kami ng invitation sa Saskatchewan. So, the two requirements para ka makagawa ng isang express entry profile ay number 1, yung English language test, which is valid for 2 years. Pwede mo siyang kunin through IELTS British Council, IELTS IDP, or yung tinatawag nila na CELPIP. The minimum score na kailangan mo makuha per subject is 6.5. Number 2, na kailangan is yung Educational Credential Assessment. So, this one naman is valid for 5 years. You may get it from WES, ICAS, or dalawa yung ICAS eh, ICAS and IQAS. Unahin niyo yung Educational Credential Assessment kasi matagal siya. So, for us, WES yung ginamit namin and tumagal siya ng mga 1 month. Yung ibang school, I think, directly pwede na lang i-transfer. Meron silang system na kung partner na yung school na yon. Usually, I think, mga public universities and colleges, ganyan. But for us, pumunta kami sa schools namin, sa universities namin, and then we got our TOR, nakasil yun, and then dinrop namin papuntang DHL going to WES. Or actually, for me yata, nagbayad lang ako ng courier fee. So, iba-iba. Anyway, alam naman yan ng mga registrar's office. And aside from those two, so di ba sinabi ko na may prerequisite kasi bago makakreate ng express entry profile. Aside from those two, ang isa sa mga pinaka-importante ay yung proof of funds. So, ito yung tinatawag na show money. I would suggest na before kayo mag-create ng express entry profile, sana nasa bank accounts nyo na tong money nito. Also, dapat lagyan nyo ng konting buffer. Yung exchange rate, diba lagi siyang gumagalaw, tumataas, bumababa. So, kapag nag-create kayo ng profile, you have to declare your NOC. Basically, these are your job titles. Okay? So, pipili kayo ng mga codes yun eh. Hanapin nyo kung ano yung closest sa inyong trabaho. Ito yung tip namin sa inyo. Kailangan yung job description ng NOC na pipiliin nyo is magmamatch doon sa ginawa nyo talagang trabaho. No, like for example, sa husband ko, civil engineer siya sa Pilipinas. But then, yung day-to-day job niya, mas close doon sa construction manager. So, yun yung pinili niya. Just an advice din, be very strategic about it. And be very careful when choosing your NOC kasi marami dito yung nare-reject ang application because malayo yung NOC na pinili nila. Kasi in the end, kapag ipapasa na yung requirements, hihingan kayo ng hindi lang basta COE eh. Yung job description na manggagaling sa past employers nyo. Ganon siya kadetalye. Okay? siguro in another episode, gagawan ko na lang yan ng mas detailed na step-by-step process talaga. So for now is yung very high level lang muna. Choose your NOC wisely kasi ano din depende rin sa kung ano yung demand. So for example, computer engineers, pwede kasing i-draw yan pwede kasing may special draw for a certain industry. Kaya no. So by the way, sa Express Entry, I think merong mga types ng programs. Pumasok kami dun sa Federal Skilled Worker Program. So, kapag nagawa niyo na yung Express Entry profile niyo, pwede na kayong gumawa ng expression of interest sa mga provinces. So, for us, since SINP yung napasukan namin, yun na lang i-discuss ko, no? So, the website ng Saskatchewan, meron dyan immigration-related pages. So, for Saskatchewan naman, ang program na in-applyan namin is yung International Skilled Worker. So, kapag nag-create kayo ng EOI, hihingian kayo ng Express Entry profile. So, ilagay nyo lang kung ano yung previously na nakuha nyo dun sa login nyo. Create lang kayo ng profile, same things lang din yung hihingin sa inyo, if I'm not mistaken. IELTS, WES, tsaka yung years of work experience, ganyan. For the Provincial Nomination Program, may draws din. May draw din yan. Every 2 weeks yata sila nagdo-draw. And iba-iba. Walang makakapagsabi kung ano yung hinahanap nila for a certain time. Minsan, may special draw for construction-related jobs. Minsan, sa isang country. So, which is ganun yung nangyari sa amin. Kasi pwedeng yung EOI mo, nandun lang siya sa pool for a very long time pero hindi ka nagdo-draw. Diba? Kasi regardless of mataas yung points mo or hindi, pag wala kang invitation to apply, hindi mag-move forward yung application mo. So, what happened to us is nagkaroon ng recruitment mission yung SINP sa Philippines. So, again, never kami nakapunta ng Canada, never kami nakapag-abroad. Just because meron na kaming expression of interest profile sa SINP, nabigyan kami ng invitation ng isang interview sa Philippines. So, nasa Pilipinas kami. Ang location ay sa Hilton Hotel sa Pasay. Okay, so, that was the very first step. Nung nabigyan kami ng email na darating sila sa Pilipinas and they would love to invite us for an immigration interview. We are not sure kung ito na talaga yung process ng kada draw nila. Hindi ko kasi din binabantay ngayon, but that was what happened to us. It was a recruitment mission talaga. So, nilodge namin yung EOI namin ng September, and then November kami naka-receive ng email na darating sila ng Pilipinas ng December. Okay, imagine that's 3 months na yung EOI namin ay nandun lang na hindi namin alam kung madodraw kami. But luckily, nagkaroon ng recruitment mission. Umattend kami ng December 11 sa Hilton. So, nung umattend kami ng interview sa Hilton, okay naman. And by the way, not everyone got an invitation to apply. Meron mga na-reject. Kasi kailangan mong ma-prove na genuine yung intentions mo, lahat ng mga dineclare mo ay totoo, and you have the funds, hindi ka lilipat ng province, ganyan. So again, hindi ako immigration consultant, but this was how we experienced it. So it's always best to do your own research. Nung nabigyan na kami ng invitation to apply ng December, that's the time na ipinasa na lahat ng requirements. Okay, nakalista naman yan lahat doon. So yun, we started gathering our requirements. Madami yan. Babalikan mo lahat ng employers mo, lahat ng mga BIR 316 ba or something. Basta yung proof na nagbayad ka ng tax for a certain number of years. So kaya yun yung sinasabi ko na kailangan din yung proof of fund nyo ready. Kasi marami din yung hindi na-approve because kulang yung proof of funds nila or hindi enough yung length nung time. Okay? So, ayun, nung nakapag-submit na kami ng application, nung nasubmit na namin yung mga requirements ng SINP, they provided us with provincial nomination nung na-approve na kami. And that comes yung 600 points namin. So, ang mangyayari dyan, mag-reflect sa Express Entry profile mo na naka-receive ka ng nomination from Saskatchewan and you have to accept it. Mga ganyan. Tapos ang mangyayari, mag-reflect yung points mo. So, diba, mag-iintay ka lang ng next draw. Na-draw ka na ulit sa federal stage na to ha. Pag na-draw ka na sa federal stage, ganun ulit. Magpapasa ka ulit ng requirements. And I think it's almost the same. Ang kaibahan lang is merong NBI clearance and passport photo pala. Nagpa-picture kami sa Great Image. So, kapag naipasa nyo na lahat ulit sa federal stage yung mga requirements nyo, if wala kayong, kasi may time na baka mali yung pinasa nyo, bibigyan kayo ng chance na to fulfill it, or baka kulang yung requirements na naipasa nyo. Ang tawag dun is ADR, Additional Document Requested, ganyan. So, may chance naman kayo na correct kung may mali kayong nagawa or something. But, be very, very careful when filling out forms kasi meron kaming kasama na naibalik, na-return yung application niya, and then she had to pay again. Kapag nagpasa kayo ng requirements nyo and all is good, mabibigyan na kayo ng medical request and biometric, then sunod-sunod na yun, no? Background check, ganyan. Next time na lang yung sobrang detail talaga. But for now, binibigyan ko lang kayo ng idea on a high level na na-visualize nyo kung ano yung nangyari. Kasi before litong-lito talaga ako dyan kung ano ba yung express entry, ano ba yung ganyan. So, if meron kayong mga katanungan or mga topic na gusto nyo sanang ma-cover ko, just comment it on the comment section and I will try to make a vlog about it or comment back to you. Please, mag-research ng madami. It helps a lot. Mag-join kayo sa mga Facebook groups, manood ng mga raming YouTube videos, basahin yung website. Kasi guys, nandyan lahat. All you have to do is find ways. Kasi lagi din naman nagbabago yung policies ng Canada. Possible na yung dinaanan namin last year. Baka hindi na yun possible ngayon. I'm not sure. But these are the maraming paraan para makarating na Canada. Okay? I know ngayon naghihigpitan na immigration, but who knows? Baka yung trabaho niya is in demand pala dito, may pathway for you. Okay? So, ayun. Thank you so much for watching and see you again next time.